Here was a time, not so long ago, when an American passport was a universal key. A blue booklet that whispered privilege, promising access to beaches, cities, temples, and mountaintops across the globe. Flash it at a border and doors opened. No questions, no paperwork, no waiting. But those days, they're over. What if I told you that some of America's favorite travel destinations are now rolling up the welcome mat? What if I told you that the VIP line has vanished, and in its place is a long queue of forms, interviews, and rejections? This is the untold story of how the American passport lost its golden touch. For decades, Americans enjoyed one of the world's most powerful passports. In 2010, they could travel visa-free to over 170 countries, a staggering number. That meant weekend getaways to Europe, month-long sabbaticals in Southeast Asia, or spontaneous jungle adventures in Latin America, all without a second thought. But 2025 looks very different. Now, that same passport comes with new obstacles. Places that once greeted U.S. citizens with smiles and stamped entries are now asking for proof of income, hotel reservations, and detailed travel itineraries. And in some cases, they're saying no outright. Why? The answer isn't simple, but it is clear. The age of automatic access is coming to an end. And for the first time in decades, Americans are learning what it feels like to be on the other side of immigration control. Let's start with Brazil, a country that once prided itself on its warmth and openness. In 2019, Brazil dropped its visa requirement for Americans, a gesture of friendship and tourism outreach. The beaches of Rio filled with U.S. tourists. Instagram lit up with drone shots of the Amazon. But by 2024, that policy was reversed. The Brazilian government reinstated visa requirements for Americans. Officially, it was about reciprocity. You make it hard for us, we'll make it hard for you. Today, Americans must apply in advance, submit financial documentation, and even sit for interviews just to enter a country they once strolled into freely. Head further south, and you'll see a similar pattern in Argentina. Buenos Aires used to be a haven for American nomads and retirees. The peso's decline made everything cheap, from steak dinners to tango shows. Digital nomads flooded the city. Patagonia became a checklist destination. But in 2025, Argentina said enough. A new visa regime was introduced, citing security concerns. But locals and analysts alike saw the real reasons: rising nationalism, economic frustration, and a growing discomfort with the influx of foreign visitors, particularly Americans. Just like Brazil, Argentina cited reciprocity. But underneath that, it was about restoring dignity and control. Leaders no longer wanted to play the gracious host while their own citizens struggled for U.S. visas. The message was loud and clear: respect is a two-way street. If you've ever backpacked through Southeast Asia, you know the game. 30-day visa-free entry, followed by a quick visa run to a neighboring country, and then back again. Rinse, repeat. Thailand was the heart of this ecosystem, and Americans were among the biggest players. Thailand cracks down in 2024. A sweeping immigration overhaul banned automatic reentry and imposed new visa rules. Proof of funds, pre-booked flights, biometric scans, and yes, visa applications for short stays. The Thai government didn't hide its frustration. Tourists were staying too long, working illegally, dodging taxes, and exploiting loopholes. And while not all were American, U.S. citizens became the face of the problem: loud, visible, and entitled. Tourism boards tried to spin the changes as modernization. But on the ground, people knew this was about control, fairness, and restoring balance. The African continent is no stranger to double standards. For years, Kenyan and South African travelers faced endless hurdles just to visit the U.S. visa appointments months in advance. Expensive fees, cold, impersonal interviews. In 2025, both nations made a move. Kenya introduced strict e-visa requirements, stating, "We're tired of unequal treatment." South Africa followed with a full visa reinstatement, including biometric data and financial disclosures. Their message wasn't hidden behind diplomacy. This was deliberate, a call for parity, a warning to the West: your privilege is not permanent. Turkey's shift wasn't about tourism, it was about politics. In 2024, the government changed its visa rules for Americans, introducing longer processing times and additional background checks. This came amid growing tensions between Ankara and Washington. Diplomatic spats, military disagreements, and trade disputes had soured relations. Turkey's response: you don't own us. By requiring visas, Turkey reminded the world that it's not beholden to the West, that it, too, can play hardball. And for American travelers, that meant paperwork, fees, and the cold realization that geopolitics now dictated their vacations. The UAE has long been a playground for the world's wealthy, including Americans. Dubai's skyscrapers, Abu Dhabi's luxury resorts. It all seemed like a safe bet. But in 2025, the UAE made headlines. Americans were removed from the visa-free list. The reason? Officially, security protocols. Unofficially, leverage. The Gulf nation made it clear it's tired of non-reciprocal arrangements. The petrodollar era is ending, and with it, the old alliances. Now, U.S. citizens must apply weeks in advance, often facing long delays and confusing bureaucracy. A new rule for a new order. Indonesia's new Tourism Fairness Act is a bureaucratic wall aimed at Americans. Long processing times, character assessments, even ethics clauses based on social media behavior. Officials cited abuse of the visa-free system. Americans, again, were the most visible offenders, overstaying, working illegally, and behaving like cultural colonizers. Malaysia joined in with a similar move. In a wave of growing nationalism, the country revoked visa-free access, citing mutual respect. Both countries sent a unified message: sovereignty comes first. And that passport you once relied on, it doesn't mean what it used to. Morocco was once a favorite destination for American tourists, exotic yet accessible, safe yet adventurous. But in 2025, that changed. The National Sovereignty and Border Regulation Act cut off visa-free access for U.S. citizens. The reasons? Frustrations over U.S. intelligence cooperation, fears about cultural erosion, and, again, resentment toward foreign exploitation of local economies. From Fez to Marrakesh, a new sentiment took hold. We are not your playground. Visa interviews, security checks, and character evaluations replaced once smooth entry stamps. And with it, another chapter in the fall of the American passport. From Latin America to Asia, Africa to the Middle East, one word echoes through every new regulation: reciprocity. The days of one-sided visa waivers are fading. Nations want fairness, balance, respect. And they're no longer afraid to demand it. American travelers, long used to skipping the lines, now face the very systems their own government imposes on others. And for many, it's a rude awakening. The fall of the blue passport isn't just about visas. It's about the shifting tides of global power. A wake-up call in the language of stamps, paperwork, and rejections. The age of automatic access is over. Welcome to the New World Order.